So when it comes to discussion of accuracy, there are a few different things I like to do to help me improve that without just the same old repetitive throwing it at a bullseye over and over and over again, which that will certainly help improve accuracy at a stationary target that's directly in front of you at the same exact height and same exact place every time. But what that won't help you do is practice throwing at targets that are variable height, variable ranges, and maybe that are not directly in front of you but could be off to the side a little bit. So I really like these end grain targets like this one here on the left. What it obviously does is gives a nice soft target for your axes, knives, tomahawks to stick into. But another thing it does, it gives you a lot of individual targets. So each one of these blocks you can view as a target. Now this one's made out of 6x6s because I had a spare 6x6 laying around. But you can certainly make this out of 4x4s, and it'd be a little bit more challenging, but it's definitely doable. You can also pick specific cluster of blocks. Another fun thing I like to do is take something like this. This is your standard vertical grain target. And with a vertical grain target like this, it might be a little bit more difficult to find individual targets to aim at. But one thing you do is use some blue painter's tape like I've used here, or some masking tape, or even duct tape, and tape yourself off a nice little target. Or of course you can paint them on if you want them to be a little more permanent. I like the tape method because it allows me to move targets around, change things up, and not always be doing the same thing over and over again. Also, it allows me to play some fun games. So I'll get into that here in a minute, but you know, with these kind of end grain targets like this, which this is by far my preferred style of target, because it's like you're throwing at the end section of a log, if you would imagine, but this is just a bunch of smaller end sections of a piece of wood that you're throwing at. But let's say I wanted to practice, varying things. I could say maybe I'll aim at this one with one hawk and I'll aim at this one with the other one. A great thing about doing like this is I'm not throwing my tomahawks at the exact same bullseye. So what will happen is, if you're throwing them at the exact same bullseye, eventually you're going to hit the other one, and you're going to damage the handle or the head of the one. So for example, this is a hardened hammerhead on this here cold steel Trailhawk, and if this blade were to hit this hardened hammerhead, it would definitely do some damage to this blade. Could even chip it. But of course, while I'm not scared of making new handles or buying new handles for these hawks here, if I happen to hit the handle, it'll split the wood and ruin that handle. So by having targets that are at different spaces here, I'm allowed to throw at them without worrying so much about hitting the other one. So with one of these, I'm going to throw at this one, the other one I'm going to throw at this one. Let's see how it goes. All right, so just fun things like this to practice. So, first one on the left. All right, I hit it. A little high to the left, but I hit it. First, next to one to the right. All right, hit that one as well. So this is just a great little way to practice, throwing at different ranges and different heights. Of course, you can practice this from a bunch of different ranges. But another fun thing you can do is if you have a partner or somebody you're throwing with, you can play yourself a nice game of tic-tac-toe. All right, so you see this one, the handle sticks up a little bit higher. This one, the handle doesn't stick up as high. So for this one, I'll be X's, and this one I'll be lines. Now I could pick O's, but it's a little harder to make O's with tape. It takes a little more tape to do that. So I'll just go with lines instead of O's. All right. All right, top center. Now lines. All right, bottom center. Top right. I'm going to go ahead and throw this one here and try to block on the top left there. Oh man, I'm just low. Okay, and when you're playing like this, what I usually do is I count majority of the blade. So instead of worrying about where the center of that line is, if got more of the blade sticking in either the top square or the bottom square, I'll just go ahead and count it as that square. So that actually stuck in the bottom square more than stuck in the middle one. So I'm going to go ahead and count that as the bottom left. So now it's this old guy, X's here's chance to win it all. You can hit it top left there. All right, nailed it. And of course, if you don't have any friends to play with, you can always play this with yourself if you have two hawks. I'm using the cold steel Trailhawks today, but I could certainly use two different types of hawks, or I could use both my CRKT runes or whatever I prefer to use that day. But Hope this helped you guys give some ideas for practicing accuracy without worrying so much about just hitting the bullseye over and over and over again. Because of course the problem with hitting the bullseye over and over again is you're hitting the same spot over and over again. So you get used to doing that one exact same throw every single time. Hope you find this helpful. Let me know if there's anything else you guys like to know about this. Gonna do some more videos, do some Tomahawk reviews, stuff like that. So always have a great day.